Okay, what is happening now?
Anisha teacher, I think you can continue with the welcome speech.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you can.
Perfectly, it is fine. Nusrat ma'am, you please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Honorable. I am really sorry for the inconvenience caused now. Good afternoon, Honorable. I am delighted to be here in front of you in the inaugural session of the webinar on data science, importance of data science in AI and ML, organized by our department in collaboration with Kerala State Higher Education Council. As all of us know, the terms data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning fall in the same domain and are connected to each other. Data science is the most widely used technique among AI and ML. Here we are going to discuss the importance of data science in AI and ML. We are very much lucky enough to have an eminent personality as a speaker. He is a real expert in delivering our title. To deliver our title. Dr. Sreekanth sir has conducted and faculty in the state and also acted as the resource person for various corporate training in data science. I express my sincere gratitude to sir as he has kindly accepted to join with us in spite of his busy schedule. Also, it is very happy to see the number of participants. We have got more than 1,000 registrations that also from various states of our country. By requesting all of your wholehearted support and cooperation throughout our program, let me move on to my duty of welcoming all. First of all, I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. A. Zubair, to this webinar. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome our respected resource person, Dr. D. Sreekanth, Senior Knowledge Officer, ICT Academy of Kerala, to this webinar. Hearty welcome, sir. Next, I welcome our IQC coordinator, Dr. V.K. Brijesh, to this session. Then I welcome all the participants, that is the participants, the faculty, scholars, and research scholars and students from various institutions throughout our country, and also participants from my own college to this webinar. I wish you all a fruitful and wonderful session ahead. Thank you. Now, let me invite our beloved principal, Dr. A. Zubair, for the inaugural address. Sir, please.
Am I audible? Am I audible there? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Respected Dr. Sreekanth, Senior Knowledge Officer, Dr. Brijesh, Dr. Nusrat, and all other delegates of this webinar. First of all, I thank Nusrat for her kind introduction, and I'm honored and humbled that my colleague have asked me to speak in this occasion. Of course, data science is not something which I know very well, I'm actually from an entirely different background. I'm from fisheries background. Of course, something this data science may help me in my science sometimes. But I came to know there are a lot of facts regarding data science. For example, it is said that it is actually a mix of statistics, then computer science and artificial intelligence and also machine learning, etc. These are terms which I do not know very much, especially this machine learning. I have no idea what this machine learning is. Anyway, I'm trying to understand what this machine learning is. But it is very difficult for me to understand at this period of time. Maybe I require good knowledge in statistics and also in mathematics to go into the such subjects. But anyway, I will try my best to understand this because this science has become is an emerging branch, and it is everywhere you hear. Whenever you open a YouTube channel, this moment the advertisement comes in for a course in data science for different universities. And in many colleges, they are starting this subject, data science, artificial intelligence, and other things. So it's something novel. And I expect this webinar will help the students to understand at least what this particular subject is in a short period of time and help them to get a career in the near future in the field of data science. And I congratulate the Department of Computer Science for taking an initiative in this regard. And I also thank Dr. Sreekanth for operating this seminar or this webinar, rather the term has changed recently, to this webinar. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for cooperating with the Department of Computer Science and also with the MES Ponnani College. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And with this word, I conclude, and I hope this will be a success. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Let me invite Dr. Bridges, sir, for the felicitation.
Respected Dr. D. Sreekanth, sir, Dr. A. Subair, sir, Nusrat Miss, and other delegates who have been present here from different parts of the world. It gives me immense pleasure to be here to facilitate this webinar on data science. And I'm very happy to see Dr. D. Sreekanth, sir. He was my teacher for a 2-day session at ICT Academy at Cority Info Park. And he is the apt person to talk about this topic of the day, the data science and its role in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And we have seen people are working with that. TV channels, they are introducing AR and VR like that. So the new science that is going to capture the whole world. So I hope this webinar will be a grand success with sir's presentation, and also there will be an interactive session, I think. And we are in a dilemma because we are already attending a workshop by the University of Calicut. So I will be coming and going to this session. And I wish all success to this webinar organized by the Department of Computer Science. And I wish a grand session for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Our today's resource person is Dr. Sreekanth D. He is working as a knowledge officer at ICT Academy of Kerala since 2014. He was working as an IT specialist in Kerala Institute of Local Administration before this. He is a PhD holder and his area of interest is cloud computing, data science, and machine learning. He has various national and international participation in reputed journals and referred books related to the area of cryptography, cloud computing, etc. He has conducted numerous students and faculty development programs in the state and also acted as a resource person for various corporate trainings in the technology domains. He is also a winner of Kerala State Government E-Governance Award 2016-17. With great honor and respect, may I invite our resource person to handle the session. Sir, please.
Thank you all. Thank you, Anisha Miss. Thank you, respected Principal Subair sir, Nusrat ma'am, and our one of our friends, Dr. Bijesh. So some of the other familiar faces also we can see over here. Thank you. I think I'm perfectly audible. I think so. I can, if you don't mind, I can switch over to the presentation mode if everything is fine. So yeah, thank you all. So in this case, what is our plan for the day is, so what we can plan. So as Subair sir was mentioning, that if a person who is coming up without knowing anything about machine learning or data science or artificial intelligence, so this can be a starting point. I would strongly hope that. So this can be a starting point for you all to think of it, right? It is not at all a matter of somebody wanted to mute. Anisha, ma'am, can you just mute? What is the requirement? What we have is say as a beginner, if a student, if a person, as Subair sir mentioned, if a person who wanted to come to the data science field, what we can do, whether how to start, because it is not a matter, it is actually not a thing which we wanted to discuss only about IT field or IT related fields or electronics or automobiles, etc. So if Subair sir was mentioning about fisheries department, if it is actually for that department, probably we can come up with some great solutions for towards their area, right? So that is the great thing that can be achieved. So by meantime, I am switching over to the presentation mode. If you don't mind, can I switch off my video for some time? That means during this presentation session, I will be available for the Q&A with video. So the cases actually, in case of any bandwidth issues, which we wanted to say, we don't want to compromise, especially on that. Is that fine, Sreekanth ma'am or Anisha ma'am?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right. All right. So thank you so much. So I'm just let me switch over to the presentation now. So yeah, the responsibility which is assigned today, especially on over here, is I just wanted to see. Sorry for that. In case if I'm presenting, I can't see your maybe chats or anything. So I think I'm audible. Any one of you can give me an answer. I think I'm perfectly audible, and also you can see the screen. Can you just unmute your mic and tell me a feedback whether it is the screen now? It is the importance of data science. Is that fine? It is here.
Okay, sir.
It is loaded, right? It is loaded. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So, so that is the discussion. That is the topic for the discussion, especially today. What we wanted to do is we just wanted to discuss about why data science. Everywhere we can see that data science is a buzzword. So, what is actually the requirement of having data science, especially to all departments? So this is actually especially at this time, what we wanted to if you wanted to plan to lay something, a base stone for anything, especially let us assume that it is data science. So this is the advancements which is going to happen. As Brijesh sir was mentioning about AR, VR, all those things, right? So that is actually again the ultimate journey that needs to be started with maybe what we wanted to see here. It is actually a bit of data. So introduction to artificial intelligence and robotics can be the buzzword. Finally, where there you can reach. But even though we just wanted to know that what is actually, why do we wanted to have artificial intelligence and robotics? And so whenever if you wanted to take the process automation with the help of a hardware component, in the case of a robotics, probably we could say that it is actually a flexible hardware component. And so artificial intelligence is required maybe in the other way around, right? So let us combine these two together, right? So due to COVID outbreak, at this point in time, I'm just not going to discuss anything about data science or computer science now. So let us take an example of this let us take an example of this COVID outbreak. What happens now? So whether technology can provide any good solutions for that. So that this is actually a kind of this is actually one of the requirements which we have. It is none other than COVID isolation plan. So whenever if we wanted to deploy this was actually one of the requirements. Whenever if you are dealing with the COVID and all, this is actually one of the requirements, major requirements which we had. So, so what can be the isolation plan? How technology can help, especially to this domain? So, dispensing food and medicine is the requirement. Collecting the trash, that means we just wanted to avoid all type of contacts from everywhere, right? It's from the patient. So, collecting the trash used by the patients, performing disinfection, enable video call between the doctor and patients. So otherwise, our whole medical system will be in a big trouble, because we don't have that much of strength, especially even though we are in the top, right? So in the health sector. But what we could say that this will be a trouble if maybe our volunteers are going to get infected with all those things. It will be a big trouble. So how technology can help at this moment is the base question which we need to ask. So shortage of PPE kits. Nowadays, all of us may be well familiar with the term called as personal protection equipment kits, that is PPE kits. So the shortage of the PPE kits, can you suggest any solution for this? That is the point which we wanted to discuss. Again, you may be knowing that, so it is happy to know that so other state people, other state students are also watching the same. So I just wanted to make a mention over here. You may be knowing about one of the facilitations provided by one of the startups in Kerala. It is called as KarmiBot. KarmiBot was actually enabled with these requirements. What is the advantage over here? If a bot is capable enough to move to the isolation ward, and if you can meet the requirements, so based on certain instructions from the practitioners, so in that case, we are just going to, of course, we are. So the contacts can be avoided, the personal contacts can be avoided. Thus, we can reach into some of the other levels. So that is the one of the ways where technology can help us. So if you think that if you wanted to, maybe at this point in time, if you are new to this field, you may be in a trouble in your mindset that what is actually this bot making and all, it may not be possible, right? As of now, I may be discussing some of the rocket science, some of us. Right. So that is not the matter. I am just going to dig into the deeper side of this discussions. You may be you'll get relaxed to identify that what is actually this much only enough. So this knowledge can be grabbed. So this is going to rock. A kind of a thing. If you wanted to create a bot like this, what we wanted is none other than if the artificial intelligence should be there. What makes us unique? It is none other than our intelligence. So based on the situations, if you can behave based on the situations, that is going to be one of the intelligent quotients. Right. So what we can do here is, but in this case is we just wanted to train the hardware also. So only one requirement, we wanted to visit to the isolation part of the ward and wanted to collect or wanted to dispense food, medicine, etc. Wanted to collect the trash and wanted to get in touch with the patient. Wanted to get in touch with the medical practitioner. In that case, this bot is sufficient. It is designed only for that purpose, not for something else. So if you can create this, what we needed is none other than, we'll have to provide the brilliance to the machine. Now you just think about it. What is artificial intelligence and robotics? AI is the brain, while robotics is the body. That's all. So artificial intelligence is required if they have assigned to one patient. So that needs to be, the machine needs to be identified that this is actually the person. Right, this is the patient. So what is the robotics over here? Robotics to say is, hey friends, I'm a flexible hardware. If you wanted to, use me as an agent for sharing your messages and all. I'm really happy with that. That is actually robotics. Whenever during our first classes in first sessions in computer science and all, we used to compare our hardware and software, kind of a comparison. So over here, if you are thinking about artificial intelligence, right, it is not a journey that has been started very recently. You can see that it is there in 1950s, 1960s, and all. It is here. Artificial intelligence. The term artificial intelligence is here. And so now, what is actually during that time? If you are asking me about during that time, what can be the artificial intelligence? It would have been in the form of some rule-based engines. What is actually a rule-based engine? Rule-based engine in the sense if, else if kind of a statements, right? So if, else if likewise. So the requirement of artificial intelligence, if, else if is actually, we are just going to identify the different cases, or we are going to discuss with the different cases of our the artificial intelligence, maybe the requirement. So what is it? It is none other than, we could say that if we are wanted to discuss the different cases, say, let us assume that if you are calculating, if we are writing a calculation for something, right? So if you are writing a code for writing a maybe to automate a calculator, so different else's are there. So that is actually a rule-based engine. But just think about our maybe our small query which we used to write, select a star from table name and all. So that is the rule-based engine. But due to the huge, as of now, why rule-based engine is away from all of us is because it is impossible for that rule-based engine to manage this much of data. What is actually data then? So that is there we start our journey. So again, artificial intelligence is here, 1980s and to 2000. During this time, we could say that we had around machine learning. And at this point in time, we are discussing about deep learning, how intelligent machines are. So how can some of you can please mute if you don't mind? So what is deep learning over here? Deep learning, this person does not exist.com. You can visit, you can make a visit to this site. This person does not exist.com. What is actually, this is actually, can you just identify this person? The clarity, the requirement, this is actually a board, maybe a artificial neural network enabled algorithm created this person. At the outset, we could say that this person does not exist. That is the fact. But it is created by an algorithm. Check another image. See. So that is the pure, based on the previous history, that is actually based on the trainings which we have given, the data, that machine itself is going to identify that, hey friends, we can develop a kind of a system, we can develop kind of a, an algorithm will be helpful for us to create a kind of results. So this is the ultimate kind of requirements. Even ultimately, we can't say that this person does not exist. That much clarity is here. So that is the capacity of neural or artificial intelligent enabled algorithms. So this and all the requirement of the day. So if you're asking us about artificial intelligence, it is now narrow AI. It is dedicated to assist with or take over a specific task. So it is here, like our Karmi bot. So what is next? General AI, next generation, takes knowledge from one domain, transfers to the another domain. So that is the general AI part. What is the super AI here? Super AI says, hey friends, it is actually better than human. So smarter than human. So that is the advantage. So if you wanted to compare, if you wanted to know what is actually in which stage we are, it is the stage. This is the pyramid structure which we have seen maybe day 1 or day 2 during our computer science sessions and all. So data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So if you are asking about data and information, artificial neural network is somewhere here. What is artificial general intelligence? Once, how far you are able to derive this as a knowledge? So I think this is artificial general intelligence over here. So if it is wisdom, artificial super intelligence. Wisdom in the sense is smarter than human being. But fortunately or unfortunately, friends, we are here only. So what does the journey says is, if you wanted to move, right, this much of requirements are here. So I think probably in every a span, maybe a year span is there for every technology development. Mostly at this point in time, we used to say that we have some 50 to 60 years, right? So it will be artificial super intelligence and all is going to make it happen. Developments will be there, but even though we could say that the full, it is in the full threshold, will get maybe in and around 2050s and 60s. So that is the base. Another case at this point in time itself, if you are interested, you can say that for another 30 to 40 years, it is really going to rock, because that much of processes which we wanted to automate. So where to start then? If you are asking about deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence and all, this is a common question used to ask by various people, our students, participants, etc. Used to ask some of the questions saying, what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? What is the artificial intelligence here? This diagram is an example for all that questions, all kind of questions. So artificial intelligence is rammer over everything. So ultimately, our requirement is we need to achieve artificial intelligence. But machine learning is going to be the subset of artificial intelligence. But if you think that we can achieve artificial intelligence without machine learning, that the answer is no. It is impossible, because it is the subset. Because without training machine, we can't reach into the level of artificial intelligence. So what is the deep learning? That is neural network enabled kind of thing, continuous learning. I say, let us assume that if you have created a model to predict rainfall in Kerala, in wherever, right? So if you wanted to predict, if you wanted to make a prediction on that, so what does the deep learning says is, we'll collect all the data for the whole rainfall data for the last 20 to 30 years. It will train the machine. Then let us assume that our machine predicted, our model predicted today that there is actually a chance of rain tomorrow, but it doesn't happen. So in that case, we'll have to retrain our machine because of whatever may be the conditions, atmosphere conditions and all. If it is not yet rained, it is actually a problem for our model. That is kind of continuous learning process has to be established over here. So that is the part of having deep learning. So friends, at this point in time, what we could say that continuous learning to machine learning and artificial intelligence, we need to fix the journey of artificial intelligence, but the requirement is we should know what is machine learning and what is actually deep learning. So how to achieve this is actually the major component of this journey comes into the picture. This is data science. So what is data science here? In every sector, we need data science. Without knowing data, we can't move further. That is a fact. In every component. So if you are thinking about some of the prediction agents and all, based on previous history and the brain, if somebody can predict something, it will be really excellent. So this is the role of having data science. Data science is, it is not only for artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning, but has got some other requirements also. But everybody needs data science as one of its components for the development. So this is actually the overall journey which we wanted to discuss. So friends, we should know what is data science now. What is data science in the sense? This is a beautiful example. If you can understand the same, since the dawn of time until 2005, human had created around 130 exabytes of data. That is the history. We had created till 2005, we have created the 130 exabytes of data. Have you heard about this case? Have you heard about the term called as 130 exabytes and all? Let us check how huge it is. Let us check. Let us let us go get back and may check how huge is the 1 exabyte. 1 exabyte. So if you take, this is an good example for that, how to deal with the data. If you are writing a letter A, on computer, it will take around 1 byte of data. So of course, very true, right? If you are writing A, it is 1 byte of data needed for the storage. So what is actually, if 1024 such letters, if you take a notebook page, 1024, exactly 1000, maybe 1024, but if around 1000 letters are there, it will be 1 kilobyte of data. 1 kilobyte of data. So, so during our time and all, we were talking with our floppy disks and all. So KB may not be a big term, maybe a familiar term for the new generations, but we know all those journey. We had a nice journey during that time. So 1000 such letters will create around 1 kilobyte of data. Hey, think about one of your favorite books. So this is actually another 1000 pages, right? So that is actually 1 megabyte. So as of now, our friends are talking not only MB. Some of our WhatsApp good morning videos and all itself is in 5 to 10 MBs and all. So that means we can hold around 5 to 10 books with that capacity. That is the case. Right. So how to deal with this another 1000 times is actually one of your favorite books. It will be one of your favorite books. So what is the whole overall chromosome structure if you wanted to store that? So that is 1 gigabyte. Our minimum requirements as of now, we are talking, our mobile phone RAM is in gigabytes nowadays, right? So we used to have our RAM. Otherwise, we won't purchase it. RAM is actually one of the major requirements in the current scenario. We are not discussing about PCs, but it is all about mobile smartphones and all, right? So the another case is if another 1000 times forms 1 terabyte. What is it? An example is record every second of a human's life up to 80 years, not in hard HD, okay, not in HD, will be 1 terabyte of data. So that huge it is. Record every second of human's life up to 80 years, friends, up to 80 years. Then it is that much of effort, that much of time is required to generate 1 terabyte of data. So that is the case. Now let us take another example over here. Another 1000 times forms 1 petabyte. What is 1 petabyte here? Hypothetically, here is an example. This is Amazon rainforest. Hypothetically, if you wanted to cut all the trees, maybe it is we could say that it is 1.4 billion acres of land, Amazon rainforest. 1.4 billion acres of land. 500 minimum 500 trees will be there in every acre. So in total probably we will get around 7.3 billion plus number of trees. So what is actually this? Say hypothetically, what is a good example which we wanted to convey here is so it is well connected with our ecosystem also, right? So if you can think in this manner, hey friends, if you are hypothetically going to cut all the trees, chop down all the trees, then if you are going to create the papers with these trees, you can think of it, how huge it is. Right? So 7.3 billion plus trees. Chop down all the trees and create papers with this and write all the papers. We have started by writing a letter A, right? So likewise, you can start writing all the papers. It will be 1 to 2 petabytes of data. Just think of it, that much of trees required for us to create 1 to 2 petabytes of data. Hey friends, an interesting thing is its 1,000 time is going to be 1 exabyte of data. Its petabyte itself is that much huge. Now you can think of it, another 1,000 time forms 1 exabytes of data. So, how to deal with the data? Since 2005, we have created around 130 exabytes of data. 2010, we had created around 1,200 exabytes of data. It is not a simple joke which you are saying. This much of data we have created till 2010. 2015, it is we can't predict. We are unable to make any kind of a prediction. It is going like anything. We have created around 7,900 bytes of data during 2015. This is the prediction, friends. By end of 2020, it is our AP or GP. Nothing is going to work here. This much of data will be generated by 2020. That is 40,900 exabytes of data. This is actually based on a survey conducted by EMC Square. So this much of data will be there in the domain. So that is the case which we wanted to address. Hey friends, if you are how to deal this much of data, that is the case. If you are plotting that as a graph, by 2010 we had this much of data only. By 2020 we are expecting to have around 40,000 exabytes of data. Say if you think that this much only a data scientist can handle, that means in between 5,000 to 10,000 exabytes of data. A data scientist, if you are working, if you wanted to work as a data scientist, this is the maximum capacity what we have, not in the individual capacity, but with everybody, right? So chill, with the help of machines, we can manage this much of data. Another case is the remaining part. There is no other go, friends, other than this. We wanted to have machine learning to address this much of data. So here comes up with the requirement. You may be knowing that, say, the huge hit is going to be, some hits are going to be a generation of data. What happens in that scenario? It is none other than, we know that it is just, you may be knowing that we have created around some amount of data. Say, take an example of big billion days of Flipkart. So huge hits will be there. In that case, if they are unable to manage that much of hit, right? Even we have seen that at once and all, their server got crashed. So the machine learning, without taking the permission from the human, without having any human intervention, if machine can take the decisions, it will be really good. So that is the requirement of having, having this much of data, right? So this much of data, whenever if you wanted to handle, no other go other than machine learning. The machine itself should take the decisions. So friends, whenever if you wanted to start with machine learning, we could say that the basic requirement is this business understanding. So we know that business understanding, data collection. So if you wanted to fix the data science life cycle, we could say that business understanding, data collection. Then even as you rightly said, if it is actually for geology department, So Brijesh sir is from geology department, and if you wanted to develop a model for that department. So business understanding, that is the first stage is required. So what is the next case is data collection. We'll have to collect the data. So data preparation. That is one of the huge responsibilities in the current scenario. What is data preparation? Data preparation, we just wanted to, before the raw data we can't input this raw data into a model. In that case, we just wanted to clean all the data. Then exploratory analytics. What is actually exploratory analytics? What kind of a model can be developed? That skill needed. Even you may be remembering that Subair sir was mentioning that it is actually data science is a pure blend of statistics, mathematics, and computer science, etc., which is true. Because exploratory analytics at this point in time, we'll have to deploy the exploratory part of it. That means we'll have to apply the statistics. Based on that only we can suggest, we can have a model. That is the next stage, which is called as modeling. Then we'll have to evaluate the model. What is the evaluation of model? What is the percentage of success ratio? All those things. Then we'll have to go for the model deployment. So this is the whole structure which we wanted while we are dealing with data science. Some of the applications over here, you can see that Facebook, even any one of you have uploaded our photo, you will be knowing that, say, you will get to know a message saying, hey, friend, so some of you have tagged a message. Even if it is not tagged, some of you have uploaded your photo, kind of a reference. It is possible. It is impossible for a machine, for a person to sit and identify who is who and all. In that case, the requirement is kind of algorithms will be helpful for us to do that. That is the various applications we can see that. If you are asking, if I'm just going to mute for a minute, I just wanted to hear from you all. You can open the chat box and please type which are the most powerful nations in the world. I'm just getting back to the window, the screen window, maybe our maybe to the Hangout. So what I wanted to know here is just open the chat box and type which are the most powerful nations in the world. I just wanted to hear from you. Which are the most powerful nations in the world? Please do interact. I just wanted to know. Wow. Yeah, Prita says it is India, USA, India, USA, USA, India. Wow, super. US, Russia, USA, UK. Pranav, wow, India, USA, Japan, USA, India, SR, USSR. Maybe probably that was an older term, right? China, Israel, Korea. Wow, Korea fans are also here. India, Russia, Germany, Israel. Great, thank you, friends. I have some answer. What is actually the normal thing which we used to do now? It is which are the most powerful nations. If you wanted to identify the most powerful nations, you may Google it, right? So this was the result. If in 2019, Google says this was actually the result. Thanks for all those who have identified something. So like this: United States, Russia, China, United Kingdom, Germany, France, etc. So what was actually Google says it is based on, we haven't given any criteria, but Google says the top most powerful, based on their algorithm, they used to share that these are the most powerful countries in the world. So what is next an interesting thing which I wanted to map? This is the Olympics medal tally of 2016. You just see the country names. Now just check the country names. So United States, Great Britain, China, Russia, Germany, Japan, France. What can be the comparison which you can make out of it now? It is none other than powerful, whether can you identify any relationship between powerful nations and medal winning teams in the athletics and all? So that history get repeats. If you say or ultimately what Google's algorithm says, is it they are tracking the details of or defining the term powerful with the help of athletic results? Surely no, right? It may not be no. But even though at this point in time we can see a right comparison, exact relationship over here. So in that case, what this kind of countries, especially in Olympics and all, what countries or coaches or individuals do to perform extraordinarily? If you wanted to perform extraordinarily, what this type of maybe countries will be doing something? Are they preparing? Are they doing something? Anything? Yeah, of course. One of the facts is without preparation, nothing can be done. Which is actually the truth. If I wanted to, take sessions today, I'll have to prepare. There's no other go. Which is the truth. But what is the case in that case? If it is in the terms of athletics, so let us take Olympics and all. One of the methods are this, but it is not very healthy, right? Doping. It is not at all an healthy method, right? So it is against the whole game spirit and all. So what is Russia? Yeah, this was actually an impact of this. Russia banned for 4 years, include our Olympics and World Cup, etc. This was the result again, right? So this may not be a good deal. But what is this? If not doping, what's next? Any country doing anything for the 2044 Olympics today? That is the next question here. In 2044 Olympics, if you are taking the age group of Olympics participants, it will be some 20 or maximum 30 in that range. So any country doing anything for the 2044 Olympics means now we are 2020. So what can be the age of that people? Maybe the participants of 2044 Olympics, age group of that people. Maximum maybe some 3 years, 4 years, or might not have even born. So these are the cases. If it is in the age of 3, 4, 5 and all, are they doing anything? If you are asking us, so this is the result, something called as genome editing, which is actually possible. We can do that with the help of genome editing. Kind of a solution is here. So technology is always there to ethically support. So some unethical things are also can happen with this. So it is very dangerous. So what we can do is there is a role of academia. Academia plays a good role. Academia will be there to invent something, but our case is so if somebody is misusing the technology, so that is another case which we wanted to discuss ethically. Whenever if you are writing C is equal to A plus B itself, that should be ethically strong. Ethically, it should be correct. So genome editing is one of the cases that makes possible with this. So what data science do, especially in that case? What data science? I wanted to do one more point over here is, so now think that this is not only genome editing is actually not there. Maybe even if it is biotechnology, biochemistry, or any of the departments. If they are doing that, data science has got a role. In the current scenario, we could say that data science acts as an enabler for the technology. What data science do for us is which generates new insight, knowledge by combining aspects of statistics, applied mathematics, computer science, and visualization. Thank you so much to Subair sir. He have mentioned all these things over there in the inauguration in the inaugural session. So new insights can be derived, knowledge can be derived with the help of statistics, mathematics, and all. So that is the way where we need to reach. Hey friends, so this can be a good, maybe periodic timetable for you all if you wanted to get started with data science. Why we are saying here is, you can see that this is not a periodic table in chemistry. So you can see that these are the scale. What is actually this? Programming languages and distributions. What is this? It is, yeah, of course, friends, it is available over here. Okay, this is the source. Again, Python, JavaScript, VB, Scala, C++. These are some of the great programming languages can be used for this. What is this? Search and database management. Without parking data, we can't do anything. So database is required. We'll have to have a database for storing the data. Right. So what is machine learning and statistics? So that is also here. Right. So Weka is here. Big ML is here. So kind of tools are here. So now what is next? Data visualization, reporting. At the outset, what we could say here is all kind such requirements, all kind of requirements. It can be a reference for you all to start with, where to start and all. Right. So maybe a question you may be asking us that where to start. If you wanted to start, it is if you are a programming, if you know programming, I would say it is always great to start with Python. Because so R is also here, R programming is also here, but some of the demerits are here, because if you wanted to create some web-based standalone applications and all, there are some issues. It is possible, but performance is much higher for Python. So in that case, it is always great to decide Python and all for that. Hey friends, if you are asking us about the job demand at a glance, our period, job demand. So this is a 28% of increase in the demand for data scientists through 2020. That is even if it is actually a post-COVID scenario and all. You don't worry about that part. It will be there, because all of us have moved into the virtual environments. As of now, I am creating data. All of us are creating data. There are opportunities, there are requirements for us to deal with those data. Once you have generated, it is always we'll have to deal with that data. So that is the picture that has been created now. It is, we could say that we have created a kind of a structure, because say kind of a structure in the sense, in every department you can see that we are generating data. So automobile industry is one of the one of the best departments, one of the highly consuming department of data. So this much of possibilities are here, especially in this domain. Say, as we have started, you can see we have started the introduction with the introduction of a Karmi bot. So in every sector, you can see applications of our data science, government, healthcare, banking, finance, retail, other verticals. Retail and it is really good here, because you just take an example. If you are visiting a mall and you are a customer of that particular mall, based on your interest, if they can if you can suggest something, which is actually happening in our Facebook and all, right? I mean, if you have visited Flipkart, they may be saying that at the end, they may say that if you have searched for a mobile phone, and after some time, if you have opened your Flipkart, they may Flipkart, and you have searched your mobile phone, you search for a mobile phone, and you are opening your Facebook account. Then there will be a marketing will be happening, saying that, hey, say this much of amount get reduced for this mobile phone. Would you like to go with this kind of a strategy? So banking, finance, retail and all. So one of the best practices which we were doing, right? As of now, I'm using that term called were, because, to visit our film theaters and all. So if you wanted to go for a movie, I will be checking that, what is actually the review of that movie. If review is negative, we won't go there, right? So that kind of sentiment analysis, all those things, travel insurance and all going to rock, health care, some suggestion, recommendation systems and everything, which is possible. So some government everywhere, if you wanted to identify, if you wanted to develop an intrusion detection system, especially to deploy in the boundaries of our country. So that is possible. So kind of delivery, so say different service delivery opportunities are there for this. So this is actually the case of having how to approach this transforming service delivery. Here is the beautiful example for that. So you can have artificial intelligence is actually composed based on all this kind of facts. Machine learning, virtual agent, image recognition, everything should work together to have the feel, the flavor of artificial intelligence. So that is the case. So you can plan whether if you wanted to build a career, because the future is there for another 50 years. So if you really wanted to stick on with this domain, I think some of the areas you can start working on. Some of the areas this is really going to rock, because in the next world, in the next era, even we can't say that a data, a model, maybe an application is there without data. So in that case, if huge amount of data comes into the picture, without we do not have any opportunity other than handling that. So in that case, if you wanted to effectively handle all those data, it is always better to go for machine learning or artificial intelligence, or machine learning or through those or artificial intelligence through machine learning. So the kind of developments which is happening. So if you are asking us where to start, it is always better to start with data science. So you can move to artificial intelligence or robotics. This is a pure blend. We could say that it is the pure blend of all the fields, all the departments together. So yeah, friends, ultimately I will wind up within 1 minute. Ultimately what we needed is the ultimate journey of discussions on this is, see, this is a soft skill kind of a terminology, but even though we could say that it is unconscious incompetence. That means say you are unaware of the skill and you lack proficiency. Both you don't know about the skill. That means you are, even if you are a fresher or maybe first time hearing this about artificial intelligence and machine learning, etc. This would have been your stage. If you know something about artificial intelligence, this is the stage. Conscious incompetence. That means you are aware of the skill, but not a proficient. This can be the stage now. As of now, we don't know anything. But aware of the skill, kind of requirements are there, kind of developments are required. A kind of a knowledge will be there. But friends, next case is conscious competence. You are able to use the skill. That means you are skilled. But only with the effort you'll have to take. You'll have to sit in front of the machine to deploy that. You'll have to contribute much. In that case, we can see that this is a requirement. What is ultimately performing the skill becomes automatic. So automatically we'll have to perform the skill. So unconscious competence comes into the picture. Unconscious competence is the ultimate journey. I wish you all the very best to all participants. If you are living with a thought, food for thought like this, machines have started learning. are we? This is actually the food for thought. So think of it. As of now, machines have started really they are started learning. So whether do we need to go ahead or not? That is the case which we wanted to discuss. So again, I just wanted to thank MES Ponnani College, my friend Nusrat ma'am, Vijay sir, respected principal, all coordinators of the event, and for me to give me an opportunity so over here to have a discussion, especially on this. I'm open to QA. We can say you can we can have a discussion. So also please submit your thoughts, especially your views and all about the session, or towards maybe if you wanted to discuss more all those details, please submit your case. I will be sharing the link at our chat box also. Please submit your feedback about the session also. So again, let me stop this. I'm open to Q&A. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. So I'm sharing a feedback form here. You just give me a feedback about the session in case if you could understood. So yeah, some of the interesting questions are here. I just wanted to hear from you all. So if any one of you can ask. So what I could see here is one of the last questions is by Aruna Sridharan. It is new information about the periodic timetable in data science. Like chemistry, is there any rules or properties in the entire elements? Good question. So Aruna Sridharan. So what I wanted to say here is, as of now, there are no specific rules for that for the usage. But what we wanted to say here is, say you should know where to apply that. If you wanted to apply, if you wanted, we can say business domain onwards, you can apply that tools, elements. We could say that these are our elements. So if you wanted to have that elements for your building the data science life cycle, that will be really great. So based on your skill, you can use that. So that is my answer. I think pretty much. Whether is it clear or it is clear. Yeah, I'll be. Somebody asked about the LinkedIn profile, right? I'll be sharing the LinkedIn profile also here. Harish, I have tagged my LinkedIn. Wow, so what is that, Prajila? Wow, super. Prajila, it is what is actually the main difference between AI and ML? Once you are entering into the deeper side of it, you can see different difference over there. But ultimately, what we can say that ML is one of the ways to achieve AI. That is my term. That is my answer. ML is one of the requirements to achieve AI. Is that fine? Prajila? Yeah. ANN is similar to our biological neurons, but it created by machine, right, sir? Very true. Yeah, what is actually the strategy? What is the same strategy which we have applied? So neuron, if you wanted to talk much on neurons, I may not be the right person. Sorry for that. But if you wanted to have a discussion on ANN, probably I can. So what is actually ANN? If you wanted to have a discussion on biological neuron, okay. So the case is, let us take an example of a small boy or girl. So if he or she is if that child is in the crawling stage, and you have lighted a lamp, maybe a candle or somewhere over here. So if he or she is in the crawling stage, they will be going there and they will touch it, right? They will touch. What is actually the next case? What is the answer? If you are lighting that candle next time, that child won't go there, or maybe going there, but it won't touch. What is the result? It is none other than it is based on experience. What is experience? That means experienced learning. From the experience, that child identified that will be a big trouble for me. So that kind of technology so for that, what is if you are taking that as an example towards our maybe data science or machine learning perspective, what is that? What was happened during the first time? First time it was none other than, you could say that it was very first time it was maybe training the machine, right? They have trained the machine. That student trained that participants trained the machine. Then thereafter, that child identified that, hey friends, this is actually not my cup of tea. I'm not going there. So that is my view on that, Aruna. Connection between, what is it, data science, AI, and ML. Oh, Prajla, right. So I have mentioned that data science is actually maybe a requirement for all. Without data, we can't do anything. Connection between data science and ML. I have answered that. Yeah, Aparna, it is actually if you wanted to discuss some unethical things, right? So what was the requirement of having so invention of say atom bomb? If you are taking that, so what was the ultimate requirement of invention? The thought process behind that energy creation, but it is actually used. It is using for negative purpose also, right? So that should not be there. That is possible again, and may not be that much sufficient to discuss exactly about genome editing. But the case is, even if you are training the machine in a wrong way, that will create another result, another impact. So that is my view on that. Aparna? Of course, Harish Shetty, can't we use AI to deal with the COVID pandemic, right? Of course, it is there, right? So some of us are see, if you wanted to identify some maybe some flooded kind of areas, zones, or anything, that can be a suggestion system can be developed. So yeah, of course, maybe in the medical terms, we can't provide anything as of now. But even though, to apply precautionary measures and all, I think it is good to go with AI, Harish. So whenever if you wanted to run something on top of, it is Abdul Rashid, AR, augmented reality. And so if you wanted to develop, again, it is a kind of an application like will be deploying somewhere. If it is in terms of how AI, if you wanted to deploy a fully automated kind of a facility, it is always great to merge these things together. That is my point of view, Abdul Rashid. Yeah, of course, Divya. Artificial neural network is using to forecast data, even stock market prediction too. There is a chance of pandemic. All those data prediction. There is a chance of rainfall. There is a chance of maybe some other issues like flood, etc. It is possible. Of course, Aruna Sridharan, ANN is a supervised learning. We are entering into the deeper side of it. It is actually a kind of supervised, but yeah, different applications are there for ANN. Even without time series and all, we can deploy with ANN. No issues in that. That is also forecasting, also possible to certain extent with that. Yes, Sridevi, as a librarian, how to enhance the knowledge in data science. So you are the right person to develop further. So, you maybe, you just wanted to, as a librarian, you just ask, right? You just submit some proposal to your principal saying, please sanction some of the books, especially for the requirement of the day. Some of the Python for data science and all, it is there. It is some good books. As a librarian, what you can develop out of it, it is you can reading habit of your student groups can be developed with the help of artificial intelligence. Reading habit, how much they are reading, what is actually are they getting something, or gradually these people will be mecosapiens. That means not Homo sapien, right? So enabled with the technology kind of thing, right? That is actually one of the demerits which we have. As of now, we are taking not taking anything into our mind until unless we are used to. Otherwise, we will be using some of the other measures, especially to use this, right? So these all are the cases. So Sridevi, in that aspect, you can develop. First thing is which I have mentioned, take permission and request for some books. So where, sir, if you are here, sorry for that. What can be the starting point of research in data science? Yeah, that is actually, you will have to start with the data science life cycle. So the major trouble is, you may be knowing that our WhatsApp community, good morning and good night messages itself is a big trouble. Yeah. As of now, I have asked a question over here. What is actually the best performing, the powerful nations? You have many of you have mentioned US, but it was in the different format. What was that? US was there, America was there, USA was there, right? So in that case itself, so from these entries and all, as a data scientist, my role is none other than I just wanted to extract and I wanted to categorize that everything comes under US only, right? So USA should be removed. In that case, what are maybe the category value which we have? So it is always better to start with the data science life cycle. That is my point. Balachandran. Rasi Farhan, we are happy to hear from you. Your present is something. Data analysis may go wrong and can affect the end result. Will there be any sufficient check for it? Yeah, model at the time of model evaluation, we can make a check. We can right. So data analysis may go wrong until unless if you are not good enough in the molding process of technology. That means your statistics, mathematics, everything should club together. So model evaluation can be the best way for that. If you wanted to tell me an algorithm, some latest algorithm. Now industry is running behind one of the best algorithms, which is called as extreme gradient boost, XG boost. I will type it here. XG boost. XG boost. Tree-based structure and developing something on top of that. That is so the feedback link you wanted again. I've shared the feedback link here again. So, some of the best tools, some of the best methods, NLP and all, some even fuzzy logics, fuzzy logic enabled algorithms and all there in for NLP. Fuzzy, what is it? Fuzzy woozy and all. I don't know whether I have used it. So that and all, it is really good for search optimization and all. What is the difference between deep learning and data science? No, yeah, we can't predict. We can't club that. Data science is dealing with data. Deep learning is learning from the data, continuous learning from the data. That is the data deep learning. Python is good. I don't know, Sridharan. Images, OpenCV and all. It is good to deal with the images and all. Again, I am not into image side, so I think I am into the security part of machine learning things and all. So I think, as a physics student, what are the further opportunities in field of data science after masters? Parvati, you can rock like a star. Especially, we don't know anything about physics. So whatever may be the applications, whatever may be the top trending skills that you can incorporate there in physics, Parvati. So anything, the base of everything is actually this thing, right? Base of everything is our physics. You can productively use it. Which is very true, Prajila. So for some of our friends at asked at YouTube, don't you think, sir, AI is eating a lot of jobs for everywhere? Very true. What to say? So cloud computing is again dealing with the data. So you can run you can develop some of the good algorithms for the efficient mapping of data, right? So which is possible. So we don't think, Badruddin, don't think much on at this point in time. As you know, if you are interested, just try to learn how to deploy, how to make your robot workable with some of the rule-based engines, some X and Y. If A is greater than B or something like that. Probably then you can go through the data science life cycle and ultimately you can be there. Oh, sorry, Abdul Rashid. I may not be the right person to discuss at this moment in time about edge computing. Nusrat ma'am, I have answered deep learning and data science. Deep learning is actually one of the methods, learning from data. Data sciences, we need to learn how to interpret data, how to productively use data. That is data science. So deep learning is learn from data. Yeah. Machine learning, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Jinesh, deep learning is the subset of machine learning. Anish. I think two feedback links are there. So I have shared my feedback link only. So you won't get any certificates or anything. In case if you wanted to get in touch with us, we will be in touch with us. So that is the case. Please share feedback link. YouTube chat box. That call needs to be taken by Nusrat ma'am and our organizers. I think pretty much, friends. Well, I just wanted to hear from you. Some of you can something. You can unmute your voice and you can ask if you want it. If otherwise, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. See, take so Parvati was asking. I am from statics background. How can I move to my career to data science? See, take one of your problems in biostatics, and we know that you are really excellent in that domain. Then you can move further. So, if you wanted to, so some of the problems you can develop some recommendation systems or anything. So that with the help of data science, which is possible, you can do that. Thank you very much, Sridhar. Dennis, thank you. Thank you, CS department, everybody. Fine. Fine. Thank you. Thanks much, Abdul Rashid. Fine. Thanks, Balachandra. Anything else, ma'am? Or can we wind up? Can we stop the session there? I think no more questions are there.
Hello.
Yes, Anisha, ma'am.
Okay. I think it's the vote of thanks section. Let me start. Is there any other questions? Hello. Is there any other questions?
I haven't seen any other questions. Are you asking me, ma'am?
Oh, no, sir.
Oh.
Okay. Respected resource person of the webinar, Head of Department of Computer Science, faculty members, and dear participants. Today, we have completed the webinar on importance of data science in artificial intelligence and
Participants,
machine learning. Hello.
hello.
Ma'am, is there anything else? Nusrat, ma'am?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Have you heard anything about? Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello, Miss. Is it feedback?
Sir Sreekanth, sir.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I express my sincere gratitude to you, sir. Sir has explained all the things very well in a simple and effective manner. Also,
I think Mrs. actually out of
very
range.
well in our hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Please.
Well, also, sir was very care about answering all the each and every questions in the chat box. Anyway, it was a nice session, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Please convey my regards to Brijesh sir, all other faculty members.
Okay.
With you all. Thank you so much for the invitation, and it's really great to hear from you, to see you all. Great. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello. Today we have completed the webinar on importance of data science in AI and machine learning. The session was highly informative and fruitful. I think it's beneficial for the whole participants. And being the coordinator of the webinar, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. Our webinar was inaugurated by Principal Dr. Subay. He is known for his dedication and support. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science, I express my sincere gratitude to you, sir. I want to express my sincere thanks to our HOD for all the support for the organization of the seminar. A warm gratitude to ma'am. I express my sincere gratitude to our resource person. Sir, he covered many topics in simple way and all participants was active in the Q&A session. It was all because of the wholehearted involvement of the resource person. I express my sincere thanks to Sir. Here we got an active group of participants from different states. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science, I express my wholehearted gratitude to the participants for the active involvement. Once again, I thank all the members behind the webinar. Thank you. I officially declare the winding of the program and thank you all.
Saya feedback kamu nunggu dawo. Eight 3 4 7 6 3 2 4 0 9 Administration name